Kenrice Day Trader coming at you with another video just showing you how you can build your own risk reward calculator. So let's not waste time and get into it. I'm not the biggest Excel spreadsheet guy, and you don't have to be either. There's only a few key things that you need. So I'm going to use my template of my dynamic risk reward here with just some hypothetical numbers. And so here's what you need to do first off. You're going to go to Google Sheets, or if you use Microsoft Excel, but I use Google Sheets. And I'm just going to give you the simple formulas, and I'll put them in the comments as well. I mean, the video description as well, so you have them. But it's not hard. But obviously, you need to know, what are you starting with? What's your balance? So, you just type balance. How much are you risking? And how much are you hoping to make when you take the trade? So after you type that in, you're obviously going to put your numbers in. So let's say we're starting with $100. Okay, so that's what we start with. You don't have to do this, but what I like to do is click the dollar sign to make sure that the system knows that it's money. And I decrease the decimal places, so I just click that a couple times to make it 0. All right. So how much are you risking? The rest of this we're going to put on autopilot. So how do we get the risk? Let's say that we want to be super conservative and we only want to risk 2%. You can type it in on this side just to remind yourself. So 2%, like that. And the formula to get this is you're going to hit the equal sign. And again, I'll put the formula for these equations in the description. You're going to click your balance. You're going to click the asterisk sign, which is that little star symbol right there. I hope you can see that. And then 0.02, and then hit enter. And that'll automatically do it. So that's obviously 2% of 100 is $2. And then whenever you change this, so you don't have to type anything in this anymore. To remind yourself that you don't have to type anything in this, you can change the color to like gray or something like a light gray. Just to remind yourself, hey, don't put anything in here because this is a formula. But leave this white to make sure that you know that you can change your balance, but don't change this because this is going to be calculated automatically for you. Now, obviously, for your reward, that's, like 1 to 2, 1 to 3, or whatever we want to put. Let's just say we're going to do 4%. So that's 1 to 2. Keep it simple. 4%. Like that. All right. So then what do? We will hit the equal sign. If I can find it. Sorry, it's a little dark in here. And then to do the equal sign, I'm going to hit this. I'm going to click this cell right here. Then I'm going to hit the asterisk again to make sure it knows it's going to be multiplying. Two. And there you go, 4. Okay. So, and I'm going to put a gray thing in there to make sure you know that, you don't need to mess with this. So that's that. All right. So obviously now when I change the balance, say I have a $400 balance, everything else is going to be done automatically for you. I'm risking 8 to get 16. So what if you want to do different amounts? You just change your risk. So I know some people aren't that strong in math. You may have to just Google some of this stuff. So let's say you're not sure. Let's say your balance is $1,500, but you want to risk 4%. All you have to do is just change the 2 to a 4. Okay, like that. Now this down here, obviously this wouldn't be 4% anymore. You would have to figure out, and then you would change this here too, because you're risking 4. But if you still have 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, this is going to be 8. I mean, that's just basic math. So I would hope you would know that 4 doubled is 8. Like that. But all of this is going to be done for you because automatically you have 4, and this is just doubling whatever you put here. So if you have a $1,500 account, if you risk 4% to get 8%, you can do that. Now, this is the bare bones of it. If you want to get extra fancy, what you can do is you can do how much you can make or how much you can lose. So to do that, you can do your win balance and your loss balance. How do we figure that out? We hit the equal sign. We'll do balance, the subtract sign, and the risk. And then we hit enter. I will change this to gray because we don't need to put anything in there, and it's going to do everything else automatically for me. Okay, so if I take the trade and lose, I will lose $60, which will knock my balance down to $1,440. But if I win, I'll hit the equal sign, the balance, I don't think the equal sign went through there. Hold on. Okay, the equal sign. I click the balance. I hit the plus sign and the reward, or the 120, because I would have won the trade. So we're just doing 1500 plus 120. I hit enter, and I will make 16, or I'll have a balance of 1620. And I'll put the gray there to remind myself, hey, don't put anything in there, because all I need to change is the balance. So now whenever my balance fluctuates, if I have, 2000, everything's in there. If I have 500, this is with 4% risk. So when you need to change these amounts, you're going to want to change the percents. Okay, you're going to need to change the number right here. So if you want to risk more, you make obviously the percent go up. But if you don't want to risk as much, you could just take it down. So, but again, be sure to check, put the, click in there to see, okay, this is 4% risk. Just double check to be sure. Is this 4? These two should match. 4, 4. And you won't see the 8 here, but this should always be, the risk should all be double the reward. And you can just type in here 1 to 2 risk reward. And then last but not least, let's say if you want to do 1 to 3 risk to reward, you would just triple this number. So 4 times 3 is obviously 12. So I would put a 12 here. Okay, and then the 4 would stay the same, but instead of times 2, I'm not doubling this number, I'm tripling it, because 4 times 3 is 12. So instead of times 2, I'm doing times 3. Okay. So that will be, 60. All these other numbers are going to automatically calculate. You don't have to worry about this and this. The main things you're going to be changing is your percents. So, and you'll do that in the formula. You won't do it by typing anything necessarily. Changing these numbers, you're just going to be changing the percent sign, the percent amount. So this will be a 4. And just like I said, the simple way to do it at a glance is to be sure to type what you're risking over here. So you already go into the trade, or, keeping track of your balance, knowing, okay, I'm risking 4%. And then when I click this, it should say 4%. And I'm going to be doing 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, just as a reminder. So, you're just tripling, so 20 times 3 is 60. And then if I lose or if I win. Okay. So, but that's the basic way to create your own risk to reward calculator. And then just change your balance as your account grows or as it decreases. And that will definitely help you manage risk and stay in the game. So, and if you want to, try those big numbers, if you want to do the prop firm round as well, if you have a 10,000, now if you do a prop firm, do your drawdown. Do not put the whole balance in here. If you have a $10,000 challenge account with a 10% drawdown, just put the drawdown in there. Okay. So if you're risking 4% to get 12, you're risking 40 to get 120. So that's that. But yeah, so that's how you can build your own risk to reward calculator. Very simple. Again, Google Sheets, it's all free. And then once you have it, be sure to use this on a daily basis so that you know what you're walking into before you attack the market and have a plan. So I appreciate you watching. Hope that helps, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.